Welcome to another edition of Interruptions. I'm your host, Otis Smith. Today I got a treat. I got a friend of mine, a buddy of mine, brother. I have a wonderful actress that y'all see at the bottom to my screen, the cast of a new sensation movie called Stepdad. I'm talking about I'm gonna do them like we always do other people. I'm talking about the owner, not the director, but the writer, the casting director, prison person number one. Well, all in the movie. Uh, but it's his movie. We're talking about the brilliant writer, um, producer Sean Hunt, and we're talking about the lovely actress. And y'all gonna hear great things from this young lady coming forth, Diamond Simmons. How you doing?
Hey,
Good. How
we doing
Yeah.
great. We doing great.
Yes, yes. I saw the movie this morning. Diamond, when anytime my wife leaves the house, I can't sleep. so so I was up uh around maybe three something this morning, and I hadn't been asleep since. And I said, well, hold on, I gotta interview them. I ain't looked at the movie yet. Let me go ahead and look at the movie. And I was very impressed with the movie Stepdad. Very enjoyable. My first question for you, Sean, and Sean, because we're friends, I'm keeping it professional, but I didn't want to write any of my questions down. I actually wanted to come off the top of the head
Oh, do your thing. Do your
for
thing.
my questions. But this was a labor of love for you. So how was that, seeing something that you wrote and then your cast brought it to life? How was that for you?
Oh man, it was great. Like right now, like we woke up early last night and we saw it on Voodoo. Like, oh dang, it's on Voodoo for real because it was supposed to be the 12th. It didn't happen, and they dropped it on the 14th, and that happened. But it's like all of us are going through like the freshman class. So this was the first movie that I wrote that I actually knew what I was doing. I did one in 2005, but I had no idea what I was doing then. But this is the first one. So Diamond was referred by one of my aces, Chill Will, that's his niece, and he was just like,
Hmm.
"You got to give my niece a chance." And I was like, "Tell her to send in, audition. That's your niece, that's family. Just send it in." I didn't expect her to be that good. So when I saw it, we was like, damn. And I called my brother and I was like, yo, y'all gotta see this, y'all gotta see Diamond. And my partners that made it to me, shout out to Lux Film. They can't be on the call right now. Lux,
Yes.
Roy Williams, and Roger Carter. I called them, I was like, yo, y'all gotta see Diamond. And so they was just everybody was blown away. I sent it to the director. 70% of the movie being great is gonna be the cast, and she was killing it. When I tell you my shock to find out at that time, she had never been in a feature film, and this was like her first star. We was like, for real. But she hard, bro. She went out and hired a coach. She learned to break down those characters and scenes, and she brought it. We was just sitting back. Um, there was a scene that in the movie where it's a very emotional scene, and I can tell you, everybody was shocked that she pulled that out, and she had grown men on set crying. Grown men. We was just like bawling. So
No, she did her thing. I can attest to that.
I think Kenny said he's trying
Cinema.
to log in now.
It'll they'll you won't see it, but I'll see it. I'll see it when they're coming in. Diamond, I must definitely have to give you your props. I think one of the most that I ask actors all the time that I'm always amazed is when a scene calls for you where you're not talking, right? But I have to be able to look at you and be able to know what you're thinking or what you're feeling, like you're conveying that those thoughts, and for you to be able to do that. I marveled at your brilliance of being able to pull that together. That was That was awesome of you. You did great work. You kind of, especially just you being playing the role of a teenager and me sitting back as a father, being able to, to say, yeah, yeah, what certain things I went through, with my daughter, daughters, excuse me, they kill me if I leave the other one out. Daughters, and and just just being your character, just being a young lady, just trying to find her way. And so what did you was that something you pulled from far as you being young, or just you were just creating the character?
I guess both. Just being young and just reading the script and just really getting into the script.
Mm-hmm.
Just really, I guess, being myself also as well. Just being a young 18-year-old girl. Again.
So she said again.
Again.
I think Kenneth was trying to come in. I don't know what happened. You might want to text him, Sean. I don't know what happened. He was trying to come in. The guy the guy that played your brother, I was also impressed with. How did you guys build the chemistry as far as being brother and sister?
Well, we became like friends first because when I found out that he was casted for the movie, I found his information and I just started texting him, and I was like, we should get to know each other and just really warm up. And that's what we did, and we became really, really close. We're still close to this day. So he actually kind of is like my brother in real life, just not the same parent.
Just not.
Much
Which parent tipped out? I'm just playing. I'm just playing. You say that the same parent. Okay, who tipped out? Yeah, I like for me, I was telling Sean this morning, for me, the movie really picks up once you guys move, get to the house, and it shows the dynamic of siblings. One of the things I enjoy the dynamic is you were longing for your mother, and he still had an issue not knowing um the whole story. And I told Sean this morning, I said, you know what, that's why it's always important to find out who your parents were before they were your parents. It's always good to know that, because sometimes it'll tap into kind of give you a glimpse of who they are. Like, why do they do what they do? Why do they teach you a certain way, a certain thing? So when you can get that, and I think that's what helped your brother, in the movie, was once he found out what the real story was, right? What really happened, it allowed him to, like, okay. And for you, your character didn't need that. Your character didn't need that. Your character, like, this, I want my mama. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, yeah, like right now, I'm not trying to hear nothing my brother talking about. He was I'm trying to be with mama and dad. Well, stepdaddy, but I'm trying to be with mama. He tripping.
Okay. You was like, and it was funny because you said, look, I ain't leaving. You go ahead. You can dismiss me with all that. I ain't going nowhere.
No, mom and dad.
Let's see. We got other people here that just need their cameras on.
Yeah, we got Kenny Gardner, Philip in the house, the dad. We got the beautiful Portia bunch all in the house, Sharon, the main cast.
I'm finna talk about Portia right quick. Yes.
Yeah. Make sure you talk about Portia. Go ahead. Make sure you talk about Portia.
I'll put your camera on, man. I got enough room. I can get everybody on here. There you go. Hello, you still
Hi, Diamond.
Yo,
Hey,
what's happening, everybody? What's going on? Diamond, what's happening, girl? What's going
uh,
on?
Kenny, I gotta ask you a question. Man.
All right, give
What,
it to me.
why are you in the gym if you can't fight? That's all I need to know. Like, why, if you can't fight, ain't no need for you to be working out if you can't fight. That just, I
Hey,
don't understand what's going on.
hey, I learned sometimes you got to build up your bark. So if you build up your bark
That's
now
true.
enough, then you ain't got to worry about nothing else.
That's true. That's true. And Miss Portia.
Yes, hi.
Listen. I told, I told Sean this because so both of y'all missed it. I saw the movie like 3 o'clock this morning. All right.
Okay.
So this your movie is fresh in my memory, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I told Sean, I said, oh, I can't be Kenny. I don't know how Kenny did that. Like you laying in the bed and you talking about no, come on, go to sleep. But I'm gonna tell you what I liked about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a true scene for a woman that
Right.
my kids, my kids are here. They, we not, and Kenny was playing it just like, hey, we don't care nothing about that. We don't care nothing about that. We don't care nothing about that. We ain't nobody trying to hear all
Right,
that about your
right,
kids.
right,
And
right.
he was like, well, don't make no noise. And you talking about, I'm loud. I'm like, hey. Then Diamond them
Yeah,
just gonna have to hear because I'm just trying to tell you. So,
yeah.
but Portia, what I really like about your character and what your character did is that you did not force being mother. You took time to get to know them because you knew that you hadn't, been with them, and you took your time to get to know them, and then you could enforce, being mom because
Right.
so I appreciate that. What was the for you? What was the how did you and Kenny come up with your chemistry to be able to play off each other?
How did we come up with the chemistry? It was actually pretty natural. Would you say, Kenny? It wasn't hard for us.
Yeah.
We worked together before, and
Okay.
so
Okay.
to be in this particular setting where I'm the mom and he's the dad, it was just we kind of it just flowed. It really did. I don't really even know if I have an
Yeah.
answer to that.
What happened is we first worked together years ago on a stage play
Okay.
prior to this project.
Mm-hmm.
And we just always worked together since then. I think we did maybe 2 stage plays together and just kind of been in the same circle. We kind of have a friendship kind of just throughout it all. And so of course when you do a movie together, especially doing a movie like this, a comedy movie together, it was like a match made in heaven. You know what I mean? What nothing
Right.
kind of prepare or think about. You know what I mean? It was just kind of a natural moment. You know what I mean?
Well, that explains it. Then you just gave me an answer. I didn't have to ask the question. No, because before I interviewed you guys, I had a previous interview that I did with actor William Johnson, and it's something about that theater background
Yeah.
that gives you guys a foundation. Diamond, if you haven't done theater, please do some theater. It because I can tell you guys were able to go in and out from comedy to serious to like you, and I guess you get that from stage, being able to on stage you have to play with each other, but then you have to placate to the audience as well. So that seemed like why that was such a natural, because one minute you guys would be serious and then the next minute, you know, you guys would.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. When you do a theater, it is you gather energy from the audience and your scene partner and things of that sort. And so I toured for a while with Shelly Garrett's Beauty Shop,
Oh
and one of
wow.
my favorite things was actually being able to get the energy from the audience and feed off of them. And so a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times when you're doing film, you're able to cut, as opposed to theater where it's live. And
Live ain't no cut.
There is no cut, and there's, if you make a mistake, you better just figure it out. You got to keep going. But with film, and so we're able to play off of each other in that sense. And then we can cut. So if it didn't seem right, or if we want to do it again, or be like, okay, let's try it this way.
Okay.
So it does make it a little bit easier when you are doing film. But you're right, theater definitely prepares you for anything can happen moments.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead, Kenny.
No, I was just gonna second that what Portia was talking about. Yeah, there are those moments that you got to be ready to keep going to. But a lot of times is when you're doing theater, you're trying to entertain the audience in a way. But and when you're doing film, all of a sudden your audience now becomes the person that you're with. You know what I mean? And sometimes, it could be also the crew too. You know what I mean? You're trying to entertain everybody that's just in the room. And having that chemistry of feeling of just going, bouncing off each other, playing off each other, listening, you know what I mean? And you try to really apply it to this movie. Does that make sense, what I'm saying?
No, it does. That's why I said once you said you guys had done plays, stage theater together, it made sense, because one of the brilliant things you did that I loved was at the end, where you were able to show vulnerability when you had to talk about your dad and that whole dynamic, and pulling just the subtleness, pulling on the necklace, your necklace, and as she was at you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. We ain't gonna laugh at you right now. I'm gonna wait till later. I'm gonna call Sean and talk about you. She'll come back. She'll come back. But I appreciate that. I appreciate that that was the part that you were no longer in theater, and you understood you were in film. And so
right.
You could look at your eyes. You could look at your eyes and tell you revisiting the hurt, and that's why far as you were saying, far as didn't want kids, and so that was brilliant. Diamond, I also loved the part from you with the guy. Sean, don't worry, I ain't finna get no whole details now, because we want them to see the movie.
Oh no, you're good.
So I like the fact that your character, you understood that you have self-worth, and was like, let me get out of here, because he tripping. I always use an adage to say, boys will play with hoes, they won't marry him. They will not marry him. I tell them that, and you exemplified that in your character. So I appreciated that. And then Portia, I appreciate you affirmed it when she got home and you guys were sitting down talking. You affirmed that to her.
Right.
I appreciate that. I was just telling Kenny about the scene you guys had in the kitchen, and so how you guys moved from theater, and then you got into film when you guys started doing subtle little things to where we could, look at you, feel your pain, or feel, what you're going through. And that's why, Diamond, I was saying the whole do stage, because it's from most theater actors I see that do film, they have a different muscle memory that they can pull from, that a lot of, you did your thing, like I said before, trust me. And he's not here, but the guy that played your brother, I told Sean this morning, I said, oh my God, that dude there. That dude. First of all, I'm always going to champion the dark-skinned people. I just want y'all to know that. All right? Because if you want to win, you got to go dark-skinned. I'm trying to tell you. Kenny, you know what I'm talking about. Kenny know what I'm talking about. Kenny know what I'm talking about. So, right. Sean, for you, how much leeway, or how much did you allow them to play to really develop the characters?
I just wanted them to do their thing. I picked the looks that I wanted because I wanted it to represent the opposite of what's really out there now. So for me, when Kenny came along, Kenny's clean cut, well groomed, well versed, and I think right now in Hollywood, they have everybody trying to be the thug hardcore dude. And the majority of America is not like that. Majority of America is like Kenny in real life. Hardworking dude, clean cut, trying to do the right thing. And then Portia represented what I think about most women in America.
At least in the South.
Yeah, in the South. Portia was pretty. She's got that shape, and she's basically just trying to live life and do what she's supposed to. She's not wearing all the crazy stuff like in a lot of the movies. They try to, make her do this and that. If you don't know, if you look at some of the other movies that Portia does, they've always tried to make her just like and then they tried to use her body, which was great for that role, but they never gave her the chance to play something different. If you look at a lot of actors, they want to play opposite of what they normally play. And people don't know. Portia liked to laugh. She liked to giggle. She goofy as hell.
She was the life on set. Absolutely.
Oh, really?
She was the life on set. Absolutely.
And so we got to actually see that. And that's the part of Black women that I wanted them to see. So my thing is like a suit. Yeah, I wrote the lines, but the whole thing was to get to the point of what the lines were. So I just sat back and watched Diamond and Kenny and Portia just do their thing. And to me, it was magic. I was like, I let Arthur was the director. Y'all deal with the director on that, because I'm just here observing this world come to life. And it was so wonderful to see Portia just bring the character to life. She embodied the character. She was a mom. She's a real mom, of course, but you got to see the mom part. You got to see the look. Everybody know them Black looks that Portia was giving. The stuff lines and how she was delivering the line. That's just like how the Black moms do it. And it's Black women, they not aging. They age about 20 years younger than everybody else. And Portia embodied everything. And then when we brought Diamond in, there's a certain scene in the movie where Portia's kind of like, she's looking at Diamond, but it's really a mirror image. And Diamond is that same feisty, go hard type of young Black woman that's out there. And I just was set back. Imagine, I didn't tell them. It was a couple of times where I just left the set and went somewhere. I just like trying to wipe my eyes. Like, I can't believe this is really happening. I can't believe Kenny on the set. I've been knowing Portia for years. I got Portia on the set. And then this is I got the new person like this. So just imagine working with a Halle Berry or some stuff like that before, but you can look at them and go, oh, they about to be beat. That's how I felt on the set. And I'm like, it's about to go down.
Yeah, I like the way you matched Kenny and Portia, because in the 80s and even in the 90s, they always had, what they call a pretty couple, as far as like you have two light-skinned people. And so I've always like, when you're Black,
boy,
when you Black, no, Portia, you know where I'm going with this. When you're Black, normally like a dark-skinned guy, a lot of times will look for someone your complexion or fairly brown skin. Like my wife is fairly brown skin, and most light skin or fairly brown skin is looking for a darker. Like it's. I mean, that's just how we are as a people for the most. Not everyone, but I'm saying just in general, it's kind of how we are. So to see the way he matched you guys up, what I mean, it made it look realistic in life. And that's one of the things that I did. I liked the scene also, Portia, with you and Diamond taking pictures together. See, just those subtle things when you're like, this is the only picture you have of me. All right, come on, let's fix that. And I kind of, that was really, really, like I said, your character, you didn't come in like, I'm the mama. You was like, let me kind of get to know them. You were trying, but it's like your character, you pulled yourself back, because you was looking at Diamond like, okay, when she first got there, you was like, hello, you need to pull them short, you need to pull that skirt down. I don't know what you doing, but you need to pull that down. And she kept pulling it back up. You pull it back down, but you still wasn't overbearing. You were still trying to get to know your child. And then it got to a point where Diamond, what I love that you did was you showed where you guys got to the point where like this is mama. And it was, for me, it was the scene when y'all had came, from getting your son back. I ain't gonna say where it was because I want people to see the movie, but you came and got him back, and you just looked at your brother like, hey, look, she been through some stuff today, and you know what, she'll talk to you tomorrow. She'll talk to, and that right there was the moment. It was like, she's mom.
Yeah, no, I think you make an excellent point by saying that I had to take the time to get to know them, but I also needed them to get to know me, so that they could respect me as their mom, and they could reach that point where it's like, okay, well, we trust her, even though it appears that she abandoned us. I don't know how much I can tell, but
Yeah.
it appears that way, or they were taught that. I had to come in with a different angle, like, well, no, like, I really wanted you in my life. And so, yeah, I needed them to trust me and get to know me as well.
What were you getting ready to say, Diamond?
No, I'm just agreeing to what she's saying.
See, that's
Pretty
black
much
people.
everything
That's
she's
black
saying.
people right there for you. See, the black.
No,
That's why.
for real.
That's why. Sometimes you got to interview everybody individually, because see, that's what they do, Sean. Oh yeah. Just yeah. What she said. What he
No,
said.
that's my baby. That's my baby.
Thank you for protecting me out here.
The funny thing for me too was with Portia. Portia has a light, like she can just really shine. So when the guys first saw her, when the movie first started, like all the people that watched, it was like, dang, she's so fine. Dang, that was the thing. But later,
Yeah, that's
as
pretty
they
much
watched
what I
it,
said this morning. It's pretty much what I said. That's pretty much what. Yeah.
but as they watched it, she was able to step back and transcend to the mom. And they forgot that she was fine until certain parts of the movie. It was just purposely made obvious, but they was just like, man, I can't believe they were more hurt of certain stuff happened. I can't believe he did. Man, they tripped. They forgot. They forgot that they were watching somebody. She turned into the mom, and they were just in shock. They wanted Kenny to win. Like, man, I wanted to win.
Oh yeah,
Man,
I was praying for Kenny, but I was like, hey man, you got to. I was like, Kenny, you can't let that slip through your hand, bro. You got to go get that. You got to go. I wanted to jump through. I wanted to jump through the TV, Kenny. Like, hey man, don't be listening to him, man. Don't be listening to your boy like that, man. Listen, boy, you go
Yeah.
home. Boy, you go back and get that. Yeah, I tell you what to say. I can tell
Right,
you what to
right.
say.
I tell you that was the thing, and Portia, I think, really embodied it, and Diamond and Daniel did too. It was like, you watching it and you see them as people as you know them on set, but when you actually go and watch the movie, Portia did an amazing job of embodying being, the sexy lady who has to turn and be a mom, and Diamond as a beautiful young woman as she is outside of this movie, you watch it and you fall in, you relate to it, you like, oh, she reminds me of every teenage daughter that, that I've seen, you know what I'm saying? And Daniel did the same thing, and I think that's what was amazing about it, watching the movie, watch all three of them do that. They take you out of who they were and embodied you into the character that they were and told that story. You know what I mean?
Well, what I really loved about how this, Sean, you wrote this, and the way they performed it, was everybody had a moment to show vulnerability. You don't normally get that with every character, the main characters. Some people just, they just straight one way, and Daniel had an opportunity to show his vulnerability of being with you, Portia, as far as being upset, having the weight of the world on him. He's trying to figure it out. He's trying to get it right. He's trying to do the right thing, but he's like all those. Everybody had a chance to show being, vulnerable. When you felt Kenny character did you wrong. And what was so crazy about that scene was it's like, man, he didn't even let Kenny get a chance to explain what the dynamic, like what was really going on. Like, because really the way I took it, Portia, was it was kind of twofold. It was, yes, Kenny trying to get in good with you better, but yet it was also his character way of reaching Daniel.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
it was like a dual dynamic, but he never got a chance to explain.
He
Like,
didn't.
you like that. Well, and that's like Sean say, that's a black woman. Once
That's
she
a mama. Yes. I was
when it's
protecting my
over.
child. Like, you
Yeah.
came for my child to get to me? Like, nah, we're not fixing to do that.
And see, I wanted to jump in, Kenny, because I wanted to come through the TV and say, hey, he already got you. What you talking about to get there? He didn't propose and everything. What you talking about? You reading the room wrong.
Right. You know what I mean? Right.
No,
So,
I really
yeah.
wanted everyone to fall in love with Sharon's character, because she came across as this woman who, like I said, appeared to have abandoned her kids, and she lied about not having kids. She lied about it to her fiance, and so she looked kind of what would the word be? Just a little trifling in the beginning. And because we all know those women who walk out on their families, or they don't accept the responsibility of being a mom. We have a lot of single dads out there who are raising kids, and so it came off like I was just this chick, like I'm out here doing my own thing, and I done left my kids back over there, and then I'm pretending like I don't even have them. So it was like I had to kind of like try to flip the switch a little bit, because I wanted everyone to fall in love with, okay, this is the reason why. And she really did want her kids.
Well, you gave clues that you wanted them the way Sean wrote it, and what the clue was when you was talking to your mother. See, if mama's not mad, then there's an underlying reason why you don't have your kids. Because normally if mama can't see her babies, her grandbabies, because you being, because the character's being trifling, right? Then yes, that means you just trifling.
Right.
But because now what was funny when you said they upstairs, and she's like, okay, what I'm supposed to do? I was like, Lord, feed them. Feed them what? And I'm
feed them what?
Like this, they ain't no animals, You
I mean, what do I do with these things cereal, right here? What do I do?
I mean, you could have got us some cereal or something. I was like,
I didn't know. No, I wanted that to be very, evident. Like, I had missed all those years. I had no idea about raising a child. What are they eating at these? I mean, baby food? No, they can't eat baby food. Like, so what are they doing? Like, so yeah, I wanted that to be very distinct, that I had no idea what I was doing.
Well, what I really love about Sean, what you did with the writing was, you took middle class people showing, problems, dysfunction, right? That actually are everyday things that happen to everyday people. Wasn't like, drug dealing or something where it's not something that happens to everyone. You have to be in that world. But you show just what average people deal with on a regular basis, and then the backdrop of the underlining, and then having a guy like Kenny, because we went for a long time not knowing why. Like, what, man, why you don't, like, not why. And what was crazy was actually it was his love for people, for a person to not go through what he went through is why. Like, that was, I was like, oh, that's I was like, oh, that's cold. Because it put a different spin. It wasn't like you lost a child. It wasn't and what was so funny, Kenny, is I lost my father. And then when my father passed back in 96, then I find out 2 weeks later I'm gonna be a father.
Wow.
So yeah,
Wow.
so I could identify with your character to where that will it will do something to you. It will, because
Right.
it's a I can't, you asking me to be ready to do something that I'm not
I'm
ready.
not ready to do based on my experience. Yeah, absolutely. You know, and sometimes, man, life will go full circle like that on you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it just works that way. And that was the one thing I thought was amazingly written by Sean, was to put that dynamic in there. It's not just saying that I don't want kids because I'm just trying to live my life or for some other selfish vain reason.
Mhm.
He gave a true, authentic reason that can be relatable to everybody. Of the reason why he just didn't want to deal with kids. You know what I'm saying? And I thought he, in a way, what we call, as you know, he humanized him. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? To where we all can relate to what that feeling is. You know, to make it to go, okay, well, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it, and that's what I thought was really done well by Sean, man.
Well, I got to give you props on the way you played the character, because just sitting and talking to you, you're nothing like your character. First of all, your character sometimes he seemed a little slow. Like, he kept
You know what?
asking
I
this
mean,
boy, like, what do I do? I'm like, boy, you're a grunt. You ain't never dated nobody. You ain't never
yeah, you know
messed up,
what? I
had to
know it.
apologize. What's going on with you?
You know what's funny? It's like, I mean, it's a little truth. It's a little truth in that, but you know, sometimes, I mean, I think my character Philip is kind of maybe a little bit of the maybe the goofy side of Kenny, the person. You know what I'm saying? That's maybe in there because we all have that childlike
Yeah.
personality inside of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so this opportunity was to be able to bring some of that childness, that that kind of immaturity that's in every guy, as you know. It's in all of us, and it was a chance to just bring it out. You know what I mean?
And
Well,
those were
okay.
vulnerable moments for him, like
Yes.
he's not like that. He wouldn't like that, like in the work world or whatever. This is when he's like with his friends and he's vulnerable. And so he seems like, we all have had those moments where
Yeah.
we're at a crossroads in life and we don't know what to do. And your friends are looking at you like, are you stupid? And and you're like, but no, I'm really confused. And I think he played that very well. He had been hit with, she didn't have kids. I don't want kids. And now she has kids. And not only does she have kids, they're grown. So it's like, and they're moving in with her. That's a lot. And so I think he played that very well.
No, he did. That's what I'm saying. And that's a testament when you can play a character, and a character may have a little bit of you in it, but I mean, but when you can see the personalities are different, and
Right.
you came off uh with that, and also you showed the vulnerability that your character was not trying to mess up with Sharon. Like you
Right.
was trying to figure out, like, how do I?
Yeah, you was trying to navigate that, and that was the
Yeah,
journey. That was the journey of the story. How do I navigate this new hurdle that I just received? You know what I mean? If my life is perfect, it's laid out for me just the way I wanted to, and all of a sudden, bam, I'm hit with this huge roadblock that I see out of nowhere. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
so that was the journey of the movie. How do I navigate this? What do I do now? You know what I mean?
But what I did catch is how your character would change, where you could see the for a better lack of another word, the man in you. When y'all was at the restaurant and the lady was bothering you see
Right.
you was a different person then. You was totally different.
Right.
You was like, I would you had that, like, I really want to say something. I
Right.
really
Right.
want, but because
Absolutely.
I've been there, but at the same time, you trying to keep it cool because you got your lady here and you don't want her
Absolutely.
to see that side of you. But you like,
Yeah.
boy, if she wasn't sitting here right now, I tell
Yeah,
I tell this
I
woman,
let her have it. I swear.
yeah,
It's like,
I was with
yeah,
you, bro. I was
it's
with you.
almost that moment. It's almost that moment. Yeah, y'all lucky I'm saved right now. You know what I'm saying? Y'all lucky I'm saved. I'm going for somebody here.
And
Nah,
No,
Diamond,
for real though.
I like the way how you said that, the way Sean wrote this, how it was like everyday life or
yeah,
everyday situations that that we have gone through as families. I read a comment because it's streaming and it has thousands of views. Okay. And some of the comments are interesting, because one of them is, why do we always have to watch a Black family that is in dysfunction or experiencing something, that, why does it always have to be put in that light, and but the reality is that is reality. You know what I mean? Like, there is no perfect family. Even I relate us to the Cosby Show. Even the Cosby Show, like, they had issues as well, and it was a whole perfect setup. You know what I mean? So I thought that was the stupidest comment. I said interesting earlier, but now I feel that it was stupid, because it's like, we went through what a lot of families go through, which is different trials, and we figure out how to overcome them, in which we did. And I love how Sean wrote this in such a positive light, and there's a lesson in every single character.
Yeah, because I like Diamond's where she went from when we first see your character, and Daniel is saying, he's the big brother, to the role switched to where, like I said, when he came home and you had to say, look, mama ain't trying to hit. And then when you had to go help him get his girl back, that was you playing basically big sister, but also understanding being a female. Your sister was like, look, you done messed up, take your butt on over here, apologize, and then you go from, and it was fun to see those different, how you guys characters could change, and it did not just stay the same. And Portia, yes, I was thinking the same thing as the Cosby Show, far as, like I said, just, it doesn't always have to be something that we're trying to overcome that's so dramatic, like somebody got raped and something like that. Because I ain't gonna lie, Diamond, I was scared. I was like, don't tell me Sean and wrote the girl and got raped.
Lord.
I was, because I was like, I said, her brother, we got to kill this fool here, because like I said, I got 2 daughters, and so I'm sitting there, but I also love the beginning. Well, when you, Sean, when you went back in time, and he was talking about what happened, and he had to go get Diamond out of a situation, and he was ready to ride for his sister. But that's how brothers are supposed to be. That's how brothers are, And so, man, I just want to know part 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So,
y'all want me to tell you? Y'all want me to tell you what part 2 is? Y'all want me to tell you what part 2 is?
I ain't having no more babies.
No. Part two is now. Part 2 is now. You're settling in as this new family, and now there's other dynamics and challenges, far as Daniel working through still that being angry, right? And now Diamond is dating. So now, Kenny, you gotta kind of help mom.
Yeah, so I gotta step up and be the man. Yeah.
Hold up, facilitate that. But hold on, but here's the other dynamic though. But they do know their father. See, that's the thing. So they do have a father. They do know their daddy. So now you got this balancing act of, you cool, Kenny, but it ain't like you really my dad. I mean, you cool.
Right.
I mean, you all right. And then,
right, because kids will do that.
Yes,
right.
And Portia's got to deal with the dynamic of letting her dad, letting their biological father know, yeah, you still their dad or whatever, but you ain't finna run my household now. This is my house. This is what we say. So, it can, Sean, come on, Sean. I done gave you stuff now. Come on now.
Hey, Otis, I'm gonna jump in on this real quick, only because no disrespect, but I gotta run off and get something, take up something done. But I'm gonna back it up. I do love that idea. All right, so Sean, I hope you're listening to that and writing down right now what he just said. Hey, Otis, I'm your new manager. I'm gonna get you on for the idea right there. Make sure you get your percentage for that idea, bro.
No problem.
No, but I definitely appreciate you, man, having me on. and Portia, man, you're amazing, and Diamond, you're definitely amazing, and my man Daniel, who's not on with us, man, this movie is so much fun and so uplifting and just so positive in a way that I think is built for anybody, everybody. It reaches a broader range than just a typical Black story. You know what I mean? So Sean, thank you for that and giving us that. And Otis, thank you so much for this opportunity and allowing us to reach out to people and continue to tell the story.
No
So
problem.
really do appreciate it, man.
I'm gonna drop the trailer out of this in a few, and I'll be. Do all you guys have Instagram?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'll be follow. You'll see me following you and sending the trailer. And Sean knows different interviews I do, I'll send you guys stuff just sometimes just to, stuff to encourage and stuff like that. But I do appreciate you guys coming on and blessing us with your presence. This is a wonderful movie, Stepdad. Sean, let everybody know where they can find the movie.
Right now, if you are watching this month in November, it is on Vudu right now. It's gonna be on Vudu probably until like January and February. In December, you'll be able to watch it on Vizio TV. So if you have a Vizio TV, you'll be able to watch it in December. But as far as right now, you can go to Vudu right now and you can either rent it or you can buy it. Each one, it can be yours for this small price of. So you can rent it and you're gonna get to see some wonderful actors, a beautiful story, and you are gonna have fun and you're gonna laugh. And hey, like I said, I think this one will live on for a long time. And watch it now. And I'm just telling you, you got the Diamond, you got the Portia, you got the Kenny, you got Daniel. So many movies that we watch now, if you go back and look years early, like, dang, that person was in this, and it just took a little time for it to blow up. And I'm just watching. I already know. Our cast about to blow up. I tell Portia all the time, I'm glad we got you before you cost too much.
Yeah, they about to blow, fellas. That's gonna watch this. All I'm gonna tell you before I let these beautiful people go, all I'm gonna say is the bathroom. That's all I'm gonna say. And in the bathroom, that's all I'm gonna say. Everything gonna be beautiful. Y'all gonna love that. I said that. Y'all will hit me up like, Otis, I see what you're talking about. So but thank you guys for coming on. Y'all stay safe out there, stay blessed, and I'll be following each and every one of y'all. And I love to have you. I love to have y'all back on.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate
really
you.
appreciate
we would
it.
love to come back when it goes on another station and bring back the supporting cast. Like a lot of people don't know, Kenny's best friend in the movie, JB, that is his real brother. He is a real comedian. BJ Kramer, real comedian. So we actually had real comedians in the movie.
There. Kenny, I'd have shot him if I woke up in the tub and I'd have shot him. I'd have shot him. But you can't wake up like that. But
I know.
But y'all stay safe and stay blessed, and we love what you're doing, and we love y'all.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Having us on, man.
Thank you guys, everybody.